When we begin each program, there's 4 stations set up with instructions for parents to be able to guide their children as to each specific station. We can walk around and help parents and guide them, but they really have the ability to do it on their own because it's very clear as to where they're supposed to go, what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it. Parents that come to the programs are really passionate about Judaism. They really care. They want to make a difference in their lives and the lives of their children. When we fully engage in the theme of the program, we select activities that parents can do together with their children. The goal is to extend the learning beyond the session. When we address visiting the sick, we had participants do something that they could then bring to a neighbor or to a friend who was suffering from illness. When we address Passover and welcoming guests, we had them make a vase and flowers that they could put on their table. Every single theme that we've addressed has had something hands-on, concrete, that they can do to extend the learning home.
At the site that we're at now, we're challenged that we're brought into a regular classroom with many different distractions all around. And one of the opportunities and challenges is how to make a creative, focused place for our educational activities. We will cover up certain areas with different tapestries or blankets. We'll mark a space with the carpet that we'll put down or the cloth that we'll put down. And we might have 3 or 4 of these areas within a very small classroom. We have a challenging situation where we have caregivers and parents who think that they're dropping their kids off for a program. And we really want it to be a family program and engage the whole family. And so we've tried different strategies to bring the caregivers and the parents in. One of the activities that we do to bridge the gap between caregivers and the kids, we'll have an activity for the kids that's just a little bit too difficult for the kids to accomplish on their own. And another thing is we'll do something that we think is genuinely interesting for the parents or the caregivers, something they could do at home very easily with minimal tools, and it was something new and exciting for them.
Don't assume that anybody knows anything. Obviously, many times they will. But for example, recently we have been trying to teach our family groups about Midrash. Probably some families know what Midrash is, but we would never go in guessing that. So for that particular example, we couched it inside of a song, and the song was repeated. So there's something funny that's happening that's saying, oh, what is this? There's a new word that we're repeating. We're attaching the word to a song and a melody that gets them saying it. In all LabShow programs, we really try to create an entry point for everybody to come into that story. So we try to create an environment where everybody can be a part of the story, because if we come in saying, this is our story and it's not yours, then why should you care? As opposed to saying, this is our story, and you have a role in this story. Lawrence Kushner, the rabbi, once said, Torah isn't true because it happened, it's true because it happens. So it's one thing to say, this is what happened to Abraham and Sarah a long time ago, and it's about them. It's another thing to say, this is what happened to you, because you might be Abraham, and you might also be Sarah. Do you see yourself in this story? So that's what we try to do, and is welcome people into the story and give them ownership over it. And we've explored a few different entry points for these opening activities. Sometimes they're related to the main program in terms of content. Like, we're going to be exploring the splitting of the Red Sea, so here are a bunch of things for you to take apart. Sometimes it's more of a tactile exploration. Similar example, we're exploring the Red Sea, so today we're going to be painting with water so that you get that feeling of water. Other times, we're having them create props that are going to come back later into the story. So for example, they're making a tote bag for themselves, and then when this character is told that they have to leave Egypt right now, he's like, well, but at least I can take my special tote bag, right, and put all my stuff in it. And then he can turn to all of his friends around the circle and say, do you have your special tote bags? And they're like, we do, because they just made them. So we find different ways to pull it in. Again, sometimes it's more of a hard tie-in, like you now have a tote bag. Other times it's a lot softer. Like we made images with glue and coriander seeds that they could do on construction paper. And then much later in the activity, we found out that manna smelled like coriander. Right? So they could link this back to a sensory experience of something they did earlier. But it really is an experiment, and we're interested to try new things.
Under the table, under the table, don't jump under the table. We actually start the program by going under a tablecloth that all the grown-ups are holding, and the kids all come underneath and we sing and we dance. And this whole program is about how we can meet under the table to experience Jewish ritual, that we can get sensory, we can get excited, and be on the same level. Even before the program begins, we are walking around, me and the puppet, saying hello, asking people where they're coming from and how they're doing, and hopefully even getting kids and grown-ups to start talking to each other as they're coming in. As soon as people walk in the door, I'm there. I want you to know that this is your room, not just mine. It's yours, it's ours. We're gonna do this program together, like a family. We like to take time at every program to have a question or a prompt where families can talk to each other and to make sure that people are feeling like they have that opportunity. So within this structure, we have conversation starters. What did you do? I am Amy, this is Jackson, and this is Lila. And Jackson turned 3 yesterday, so our memory was getting his haircut when he turned 3 for his first time. And we did the blessing that we do every Friday night on the little helicopter while he was getting his haircut.
What do you think, Wanda? It's great.